Let's take you through the starting grid of the Junior Rotax final here at Val d'Argenton. On pole position, it's going to be Matej Radenkovic, who's had a 100% success rate so far this weekend. He's joined on the front row by Max Cuthbert from the United Kingdom. It's Belgium and the UK again on row number 2, courtesy of Boluet and Thomas Behrman. Archie Clark and now Armand Hamilton representing the UK and Hungary ran at row 3. With the Netherlands, Casper Schormans and Jordan's Hamza Al-Fayez on row 4, with Timo Jungling and Ryan Bourguignon rounding out the top 10. Lucas Sells and Tom Strehler on row 6, Zain El Homosani and Joshua Graham on row 7, Olivier Jonkers and Kenzo Craigie, row 8, row 9, Thomas Ingram Hill and Boris Maximov, with August Reber and Krik Knorren rounding out the top 20. Completing the 34-strong grid are Noah Janssen, Antoine Grissel, Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Ollie Wise, Julian Kovacevic, Dave Stevens, Casper Nissen, Ryan Gandor, Thomas Rudokas, Matteo Dovan, Sky Parker, Knud Nielsen, Matthias Jellerup and Romain Kitzinger. So the drivers coming towards the final few moments of their formation lap here at this 1,280-metre circuit. Radenkovic has been the one to beat this weekend, but can anyone break his success rate so far here in Western France? There's a whole host of talent behind the 296 from Bouvin Power. Radenkovic and Cuthbert on the front row. Rounding out the top 10, it's Louet, Behrman, Clark, Hamilton, Schormans, Al-Fayez, Jungling and Bourguignon. Are we ready? Are we steady? The revs rise, the lights go out, we are underway and racing. And Cuthbert keeps it pinned to the outside going into Clubhouse. Radenkovic still has the lead as Louet looks up the inside. 2, 3 abreast. There's someone that has just gone off the circuit. Carts here, there and everywhere at the back end of the field, including Ollie Wise in the 256. As they make their way to the backstretch for the first time. Radenkovic is leading. Louet has got past Cuthbert up into P2. Schorman's now up into 6th position. Al-Fayez looking up the inside of Armand Hamilton, who goes off and onto the grass. That allows Timo Jungling to get through, along with the 2, 3, 5 of Lucas Sells. Now Cuthbert fancies an opportunity at going for the race lead, but Thomas Behrman and Archie Clark were side by side. Clark has gotten through on his teammates as they complete the top 5. Louet swinging to the outside into Clubhouse to try and get the run on Matej Radenkovic. Through back into turn 3 they go. And the top 6 of the opening lap were covered by just under 1.2 seconds. Bit of a gap between Schormans in 6th and Al-Fayez in 7th, who's got Timo Jungling amongst others. Move has been facilitated, that is by Kenzo Craigie in the 244 from Argenti Motorsport. He's got through on Lucas Sells, and the 298 of Josh Graham is just behind the French driver. As one driver loses a bag full of positions coming out of Dunlop, Radenkovic still leads after 2 laps. But Louet is not giving up, not giving in. Cuthbert has joined the party. They were 4 tenths apart after the opening 2 laps of this race. Antoine Grissel has dropped all the way down to stone dead last out of 34. Thomas Rudokas finds himself in 25th position behind Matteo Dovan. There's some more battling going on because Kenzo Craigie is now ahead of France's Ryan Bourguignon. That is a change for 9th on the road. So Craigie slowly but surely climbing the order. Across the line again they go to complete lap number 3. Loet has yet to make a move on Radenkovic for the race lead. Meantime, Archie Clark is pretty much with Max Cuthbert. Clark, in the meantime, has set the fastest lap of the race, 53.628 seconds on lap number 3. Getting towards the midpoint of lap number 4 here in the sunny afternoon, Sunday sunshine here at Val d'Argenton in Western France. And now Cuthbert looks for the move up the inside on Beau Loet. Loet gives him room. Cuthbert is through. Clark is now right on the back bumper of the 224. But in the meantime, behind, there is a lot going on. Thomas Ingram Hill has got his elbows out, battling away with the likes of Noah Janssen. And there is a time penalty, and it's going to the 2:56. And that is Ollie Wise. Ollie currently running in 35th position, 33rd position. And there is a change. Clark through on Loet, and he's had a little bit of a touch on the left rear, courtesy of Thomas Behrman, and that has allowed a few more drivers to get through. Shawman's up into 4th. Hamza Al-Fayez from Jordan now runs in 5th. 6th looks to be Timo Jungling. Kenzo Craigie in 7th. And Boloet starts to initiate his comeback drive. He goes back up the inside of the 244 through turn 7. A bit further back, Thomas Ingram Hill still battling away with Noah Janssen. That's for 14th on the road. Dave Stevens in the 292 has set the fastest lap of the race so far, 53.332. Stevens at the moment currently circulating in 23rd position. There's Joshua Graham looking to get past Ryan Bourguignon. Could have the run coming down the back stretch. It's about 2 kart lengths behind. Kasper Schauman's in the meantime in 4th position. Has just taken nearly a 10th out of Archie Clark, and he's bringing Hamza Al-Fayez and all and sundry behind with him. Radenkovic is carrying on controlling he's controlling proceedings. Is the 296, 13 years of age, based out of Schilder. He's won every single race so far this weekend. All 3 heats that he took part in yesterday, and also the pre-final this morning. Capping that off with pole position. Thomas Behrman, in the meantime, running at the top 9, has just been in the fastest lap of the race, 53.117 seconds. As Borlowet looking up the inside of Timo Jungling and has got through on the 265, nearly opened the door in the meantime for Kenzo Craigie in the 244 from Argenti Motorsport. That's the battle for 6th position. And now Craigie is through. Behrman now closing in on the 265 from Dan Holland Racing as they come across the line once again. Lap number 7 in the books. And Max Cuthbert is within 3/10 of the race leader. Clark is just over 6/10 behind Radenkovic on the road after completing 7 laps of racing. And a 5-second penalty going the way of Thomas Behrman. Just seeing that on the digi flag on the start-finish straight. So Behrman has got to make up some time. And Al-Fayez has been closing in rather quickly to the back of Kasper Schauman's. He's 8/100ths quicker than the 240. Top 5 rounded out by Hamza Al-Fayez, covered by a 2.5. Top 10 rounded out by Joshua Graham, now covered by 4.1 seconds. And 10 seconds covering the top 24 drivers, rounding out Tom Strehler from Dan Holland Racing, representing Latvia in the 238. August Raber now in the 2:29. Sets the fastest lap of the race. August Raber currently sitting in 15th. 5-second time penalty for Thomas Behrman was for pushing. Someone's just gone off the track, just off of the Piff-Paff chicane towards the back end of the field, and someone's gone very, very wide coming out of that penultimate corner. Might have been Tom Strehler. There's a little bit of a dogfight happening down the start-finish straight heading into Clubhouse. Looks like it was the battle involving Julian Kovacevic, I would imagine. That'd probably be at the back end of the field. Ryan Gandor from Canada, the 219 representing KR Sport, is no longer in the race as Bolowet looks up the inside. That is on Hamza Al Fayez, and he goes over the top left of the Jordanian's front bumper and inadvertently caught out in the crossfire. That is Kenzo Craigie. So a move there from Bolowet. Looks up the inside of Hamza Al Fayez. They came out of turn 7. And Loet, well, the way that everything was just closing so quickly, it's turned the race on its head a little bit here. Al Fayez is now losing ground. He's just been passed by Timo Jungling. Bolowet's just right back behind him. They've got Thomas Behrman in tow. Alberto Kiko Fracassi, as there was a little bit of a bump from behind, courtesy of Bolowet on Hamza Al Fayez, who inadvertently hit the back bumper of Timo Jungling. This is going to get a bit too close for comfort here, coming through into turn number 8. Al Fayez hung out to dry on the outside. Trying to go through was Alberto Kiko Fracassi and Joshua Graham. Up the inside of Thomas Behrman through Dunlop goes Al Fayez. And Al Fayez, is he going to pin it to the inside? He is. They are side by side coming across the line. And now here comes Fracassi. Fracassi up the inside of the pair of them, got 2 for the price of 1. Al Fayez retakes the place back. Now through into turn number 3. There's just 50 seconds on the timer remaining, plus an additional lap. Alberto Kiko Fracassi took the absolute biggest opportunity possible and made it count. He's put himself ahead of Thomas Behrman. Joshua Graham now looking up the inside there as well, but couldn't put a move on Thomas Behrman at that particular occasion. Armand Hamilton has got Ryan Bourguignon just behind, along with Thomas Ingram Hill and August Raber. Radenkovic still leading as we go on to the penultimate lap. Lap 13 out of 14. Radenkovic leads by nearly 3.5 tenths of a second. Head of Max Cuthbert. Archie Clark rounding up the top 3. Shawmans in 4th. Jungling 5th. Loet, Al Fayez. And there is drama, and that is for the 212. Hungary's Armand Hamilton turned around the wrong way, and he rejoins. He was running P11 at that point. Timer has now expired. 1 more lap to go after this. Bolowet, despite being down in 6th position, has the fastest lap of the race in his pocket, 53.017 seconds. 1,280 metres remain in the Junior Rotax final. Radenkovic has not put a foot wrong all weekend. They go through Clubhouse for the final time. More dodging and ducking and diving and weaving between the likes of Joshua Graham, August Raber, Thomas Ingram Hill. A little bit further back from the top 4, there is a battle happening between Timo Jungling and Bolowet. That's for 5th place. Jungling runs a little bit wide and he runs onto the grass. Al Fayez has caught them. So is Behrman. So is Fracassi. But the leader now making his way into turn number 11 is Max Cuthbert, planning something special. We're about to find out. Out of the final corner, a complete clean sweep this weekend for Belgium's Matej Radenkovic. Pole position in time qualifying, 3 wins in the heats yesterday, the pre-final this morning, and he's done it all. Final in this, the win in the final this afternoon beating Max Cuthbert by just a tenth and a half of a second after 14 laps of racing. So Cuthbert takes second, Clark takes third, Shawman's fourth, Youngling in fifth, Alfayez in sixth position, as a lot of his peers within the junior Rotax paddock giving him the thumbs up to Mateo Denkovic, saying congrats, well done buddy, great job this weekend. No one has been able to touch him. Thomas Behrman, Boloet, Alberto Kiko Fracassi and August Raber round out the top 10. Crick Noren, Lucas Els, Joshua Graham, Ryan Bourguignon, Thomas Ingram Hill and Noah Janssen, they round out the top 15. There have been a couple of amendments because of 2 5-second time penalties for pushing. One going to the 2.92 of Dave Stevens, one going to the 2.59 of Thomas Behrman. But Radenkovic takes the win. Cuthbert second, Clark, Shawmans and Youngling ran out the top 5. Hamza Alfayez in 6th ahead of Boluet. Alberto Kiko Fracassi, August Raber, Crick Noren, Lucas Els, Joshua Graham, Ryan Bourguignon, Thomas Ingram Hill and Noah Janssen running at the top 15. Olivier Yonkers, Matteo Doverne, Thomas Rudokas, Kenzo Craigie, Thomas Behrman, Boris Maximov, Tom Streller, Zain El Homosani, Matthias Yellerup, Kasper Nissen running at the top 25 and completing the 33 that finished were Julian Kovacevic, Dave Stevens, Antoine Crisel, Roman Kitzinger, Armand Hamilton, Knud Nielsen, Sky Parker, Ollie Wise, and unfortunately on lap 8, Ryan Gandor was confirmed as a retirement.